What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals. Remember when we used to eat meals?
A time long ago.
I keep looking at Kyle because
new faces to YouTube.
Oh, true. I keep looking at Kyle because he's on my screen. But then I remember I was getting to editing and I realize I'm constantly looking behind where your face ends up being. I gotta stop doing that. Guys, the title, you saw it. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. The nerds won. I tweeted that. Follow me on Twitter at MovieMealAl. Or at AJVWeaver7. I just tweeted hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and then I put the gif of Chris Evans in Avengers saying, "We won." That's all I tweeted.
Streams.
Yep, it's true. The Snyder Cut, guys, we're getting it. Kyle texted me the other day and he goes, you know what, why don't we do a little video quarantine discussion of the Snyder Cut? Let's just kind of talk about that, the news around it, and maybe our thoughts on what we think the movie might be, and just have a little conversation, as Baby Yoda would say. He can't talk. That's untrue. Come on, Alex, be smart.
I was gonna say, who says that?
Anyway, so Zack Snyder. So let's just go through the timeline. I'll say, Kyle, if I'm incorrect on any facts, please correct me as I say them.
Oh, so, I sure will.
Snyder wrote, directed Justice League, also BVS, Man of Steel. Man of Steel's fantastic. BVS, after a fat rewatch, is still bad, but not as bad as I remember. Because I ended up rewatching it on TV like 2 months ago. And so he had a tragedy, if I remember correctly, and his daughter passed away towards the end of filming for Justice League. Right? That's what happened?
It was at least principal of photography, if I had to guess, when that happened, but I think he had a good chunk of the movie filmed.
Yeah, I think he'd filmed most of it.
By the reports I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, there's been tons of stuff over the last few years. So he stepped away from the project. Obviously, we'd still feel bad about such a tragedy that happened to him and his wife and their family. But so he steps away, and Warner Brothers brings in Joss Whedon to make the movie. Now, rumors now say that Whedon ended up not even editing the film. He reshot about 3/4 of what Zack Snyder had, and changed a lot of the script, if I remember correctly. And then Whedon got the credit on the movie, but rumors lately have been that really the studio execs just brought in an editor. Whedon never even worked on it, and they just put together what they thought was the best movie from that footage. Since then the fans outraged on any thought that there was another cut of the movie. Zack Snyder, the other day, when he officially announced that he is now making his cut, said that about 1/4 of his movie was in the final Justice League. Since then, I mean, before this, I mean, they've talked about this for years. People were flying planes with banners on them that said hashtag release the Snyder Cut. There were billboards in LA. Lots of critics and pundits that I know Kyle and I both follow for years. I mean, I've seen some who have said the Snyder Cut does not exist. One of the first videos I watched was Dan Murrell, who formerly of Screen Junkies, now on his own channel. First tweet I saw when they announced it was him, and he was like, I've been saying for years this cut doesn't even exist, and come watch my video to see why I'm wrong. So I went in, watched that.
He apologized.
Yeah, lots of people have thought it, and you can't blame them for thinking that. There's evidence to both sides. A lot of the actors have been asked about it for 4 years, saying they've seen it. Momoa a couple months ago, or late 2019, when he was doing press, was asked about it, and I remember it kind of sparked a little bit more then. Then he said, no, I've seen the cut. So there was, and then, WB yesterday or 2 days ago announced, I think it was yesterday, announced that they're giving Zack $20 to $30 million to finish the visual effects and to finish his movie. Perfect job while you're in quarantine. Just be yourself, go into the studio and make it. So now and it's going exclusively on the HBO Max. I know you and I have had a lot of conversation in the past about how that's actually brilliant for HBO Max. That's going to bring in a community. And, you know, when we see a movie like Extraction on Netflix, do super well right now. Obviously these numbers are all going to be inflated with streaming because of, quarantine. But, you know, you look at Mandalorian, what it did for Disney Plus, how many viewers it brought in. HBO Max launches in, I think, 5 days, a little under a week. So you then say, hey, we're going to do this big cut that so many people have wanted. We're going to put it on there. And then you get all the people who maybe hear this in the news, the common folk who can just sit down now and watch it. I know HBO Max is an easy upgrade. I've been looking into it because I'm getting it. That it's an easy upgrade. It's about the same cost as all the other HBO, you know, HBO Now and HBO Go already. I think it's like a penny more is what I remember correctly. So I think it's a smart move by WB to put it on HBO Max. Would I like to see it in the theater? I don't know. Because I don't know how much this 20-30 million visual effects is really going to do. I don't know what it's going to do. Maybe it doesn't look that great on the big screen. I don't know. But so yeah, we've got the Snyder Cuts coming. Kyle, what are your initial thoughts on all this? The news, the movie. What are you thinking over there in other Kyle land?
Well, first to start off with how I feel right now, I feel happy because originally, like right after when Justice League came out, and I kind of was just putting that movie behind me. You know, the release of Snyder Cut things started happening, and at first I thought the same. I was like, I don't know, very much was filmed to where it's enough for like a quote unquote Snyder Cut, so I didn't really buy into it. But over the years, Snyder has dropped hints and tidbits, and even some of the cast has hinted at the same way that even Kevin Smith, I think, at one point said that there is like a legit cut.
Love Kevin Smith
of a cut. So
big fan.
It was those words of mouth where I was like, well, maybe there is something there to where, you know, there could be a Snyder Cut if it's possible, but I don't think they're ever going to go back to the well on it still. And then, sure enough, apparently behind the scenes, like a year ago, according to reports, like the new head of Warner Bros. Was looking into like all the fans talking about release the Snyder Cut, talking about that movement that was happening on Twitter, and basically went to Zack Snyder, was like, hey, like, let's see if we can make this work. Let's see if we can make this possible. And Snyder was able to bring people in from HBO and Warner Bros. And DC to like look at the ideas that he had and what he had made so far. And from there, I guess he was just able to build it up to where this announcement worked and made sense. And you know, it is really cool. It is kind of cool seeing a director's vision, you know, good or bad, we'll find out, but a vision nonetheless being able to come to life. You know, some people may say whether that's a good thing or a bad thing that fans were able to do such a thing. I think it's just based on the situation of everything. If you just take it into consideration, it could be good or bad, but I don't know. I think this is one of those moments where it's good for fans and good for business and good for the creator being able to come back to something and to see it through. But again, whether it's good or bad, we'll see how that goes. But, you know, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what this is going to be because, you know, there's so much that Snyder has hinted at. Like, we're going to see, you know, the dark Superman or the Superman, the black costume, the iconic black costume. There's, you know, reports that, like, the Green Lantern was supposed to like be in the movie. I believe there was
who's playing
like,
him.
hints that like I don't know who would have played
Ryan Reynolds back, baby.
I mean, there was supposed to be hints that like Batman supposedly died in like part 1 because it was supposed to be like a 2-part Justice League arc, I believe. You know, Darkseid was supposed to be in like part 2 as well. I'm trying to remember all the little rumors.
It would be so. And if you know,
it's going to be crazy. I think
if the movie,
it's going to be something crazy.
If the movie, because I do now that you're talking about it, I do vaguely remember at times when he was shooting and Zack was fully in charge that they talked that this Justice League movie might need to be split. So you know, if this movie's 3 hours, HBO Max is perfect for it. Put it in a position where people can stop and not, you know, it's, you know, you put this cut in theaters, wide release, you're probably going to not make much of your money back or any at all. You put it on HBO Max. You draw in viewers to get your subscription. And if it's 3 hours long, we've seen success like The Irishman on the streaming service be really good. So I'd be all right with that. Did you see what Joe Manganiello tweeted?
I did not see what he tweeted. What was it?
So Joe tweeted the night everything was released. He just tweeted it was something like that real end credit scene though. ... So there's rumors that because remember
the real end credits.
Yeah, remember because his end credit scene as Deathstroke was just showing up and being recruited by Lex Luthor, but apparently there's a much bigger real one. So if they're gonna give him 20 to 30, let him make his movie. If it's gonna be 3.5 hours, let it be 3.5 hours. The super nerds will watch it. You'll get more subscribers. And I do think I remember when we got out of Justice League. I remember we all kind of were like, but you could tell it felt Avengers. You could tell Joss Whedon. I didn't like it when we first saw it. I remember a couple of you thinking, it's not as bad. It's kind of were doing that thing.
I remember the review of it. People can go watch on it and have a good laugh on it because I do remember thinking it was better than I expected because I was picturing a full-on train wreck after just all of the circumstances that was happening about the movie. I tried to watch it lately. I couldn't get past 20 minutes.
Yeah, same.
So whatever I said in that review, take it all back because it's not great.
I remember when we got out of it, people, we thought it was Avengers. They tried to they brought Joss Whedon in and they scrambled to make it Avengers. That's what it felt like. Yeah. It was quippier. It was a lot more of that. And if Zach's got this super dark movie, I get people, BVS is, Man of Steel divided people. I think most people tend to like it. I think if you lean the 50-50, I think it's not that big of a, that intense of a split. I think more like 60-40 maybe. People like Man of Steel compared to don't. Kyle and I love Man of Steel. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great take on Superman. BVS just was hit and miss. They let him do his thing and it just got a little too inside baseball, but I still, even when I rewatched it a few months ago, caught it on the cable. Now that I have cable again, I remember thinking the same thing. Most of this movie stinks. The fight scenes are great. I still really like Batman. Ben Affleck was a great Batman. He really was. He didn't get a fair shake. You can tell. I remember all those rumors in BVS that he rewrote his Batman lines, that he was given permission to rewrite the Batman material, and you can tell it's sharper, it's better, it's just a better dialogue. And all the performances were fine. It just was a weaker script. So this movie may be bad. I that's why I saw on Twitter a lot of people saying the fans what's going to happen when the movie's bad, and the movie may not be good. It might not be, but the fact that we get to see it, the fact that a director is going to get to finish his vision of a movie he poured himself into. He's a huge comic book nerd. That to me is a win, and I've been curious to see it, and I'm not spending a whole lot to watch it. So I think it's a win for everybody in this situation.
Yeah, for sure it's a win for everybody in this scenario. Whether it be good or bad, I just recommend people to temper expectations. Because, if they're going to really stick to the 20 to 30 million budget, you can only do so much for that with visual effects, I feel like.
It just depends on how much they've shot. Sorry to cut you off there. It just depends on how much of the visual effects are already done. If he has the whole budget to do, I don't know if 30 million's enough for a big superhero movie, but if he did because they do visual effects as you go of shooting. It's not like you shoot the whole thing and you don't. So and he shot 3/4 of the movie, so you don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay, that's a good point. I wasn't sure if it was 3/4 or 1/4 of whatever the movie was done. I'm not too sure. I'll go by what you say, Alex. I trust you.
Well, I saw the Zack Snyder tweeted 1/4 of my movie you saw. So I'm assuming there's, that's basic math. 3/4 would be what he shot and was unused. So I'm assuming he shot around 3/4 of the full movie and then they reshot a ton. It sounds like they reshot really the whole movie. And they used a little bit of
Yeah.
his footage, you know, maybe I mean, obviously Superman is dead. So maybe it's that stuff. That's the tiny bit. That's the 1/4 we saw as the Superman dead stuff. I hope
Yeah.
Mustache Gate is not in this one. Let's get all the footage used before he had the
No, that
mustache.
yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case.
I
I
think
don't
so
think we have
too.
to worry about mustache game. Um, what was I going to say? I had something on my mind. Yeah. So I mean, temper expectations. I mean, personally, I if it's bad, it's going to be a bummer. But at least what's done is done. But if it's good, hey, then awesome. We got to see what his version was, and whether it's going to be cut up into a 4-hour movie or whether they're going to split it into chapters. That's been rumblings that might be the case. I'm very curious to see like what he was planning on, and who knows, maybe the ideas that he had, maybe they stink. I mean, Zack Snyder, not all of his ideas were, the best when especially in Batman versus Superman. I don't think all of his ideas were, totally great and did well for its characters. So you never know. Like maybe just because we really want to see his version so bad, maybe it's just not going to be what we're expecting, or maybe the ideas just don't land creatively. I don't know. So I'm just curious to see what it
Me
is.
too.
Good or bad, it doesn't bother. It's not. I'm hoping that it doesn't bother me. Good or bad, it'll be fine. But it's just mostly me wanting to know about these ideas that he just has thrown out there so much over the years, and what did they all culminate into? What does that look like? So
Yeah.
that's really my biggest wonder about it all.
Same, and it's probably a lot darker. Just
Oh
that's
yeah, I
Zack.
bet.
That's Zack Snyder. But it's gonna be nice just to see a different take with those characters, because I really like Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Obviously, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is fantastic. I like Ezra Miller's Flash. I really like Ben Affleck as Batman. So it'll be cool just to see them get another shot at being a team. I liked Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg. I thought he was really good. I mean, all the actors did a great job. They just put in a bad situation. So, and if the movie's not that good, we have two not that good Justice League movies, but at least now we know. Where there's no more secrets. There's no more. Well, the Snyder Cut would have been so much better because Zack understands filmmaking. And, it's not going to be. It's not going to be that. I mean, I like Zack Snyder. I think he's made some great. I love Man of Steel. 300 is really good. He's made a couple of ones
Did a
that I
good job with
enjoy
Watchmen.
enough. Yeah, Watchmen. I need to give a fair reshot to, because I really hated it the first time I saw it. But
Not for everyone, that's for sure.
I've adore the graphic novel. It's right there, brother. Let me borrow it. One day he won't get it back, and the show is excellent, and I like his style. I'm not afraid of styles as long as they don't overtake the movie. So I'm curious. I'm with you. I'm curious, and it will be nice to kind of see everybody come back, especially if it let's pretend here, because we've been talking a lot that what if it's bad? What if it's excellent? What if it's fantastic? What if it is a great movie? Not just a great superhero movie, a great movie. It's universally loved. It ends up getting tons of word of mouth. It brings in subscribers because people are saying you need to watch this on HBO Max. Then you got a really interesting situation when you're DC. Because if the movie's excellent and people are saying, did you see how great Ben Affleck was in that movie? Do you see Henry Cavill's so good? Gal Gadot, if everybody's praising them, WB is already in this position where they're making a new Batman with Chris Reeves and our boy. His name is
Matt
escaping me.
Reeves?
Mr. Reeves, isn't that what I said?
I think you say Chris Reeves. I don't know.
Maybe I did.
Maybe
I
I
might
read
have
that
said
wrong.
Chris Reeves. I meant to say Mr. Reeves. Matt Reeves. Yes, the Planet of the Apes boy. Um,
Yeah.
um, but they made a Joker movie that was excellent. That they are saying is in a different universe. If this movie kills, maybe they go, all right, Zach, what do you got next? And he says, Man of Steel 2. Let's get Henry back. We know Henry wants it. I would be all for that. I'd still be for it. Whether this movie's good or bad. Man of Steel 2, make it happen. That's what I want. You want
Oh,
to
I
chime
mean,
in
for
here?
sure. Yeah, for sure. That's at the top of my list is Man of Steel 2. I would love for that. I mean, I think Cavill did the right thing by kind of leaving the role, quote unquote. We still aren't sure, but I think he kind of did leave the role. But I would love for him to come back and for Man of Steel 2 to happen for sure. Yeah, I guess in a weird way, if this movie is fantastic, then that is maybe a worst case scenario for Warner Bros. Because they're like, oh wait, so how do we connect the movies again instead of making them separate? Do we go back to Ben Affleck or do we stick with
I think they'll do what they're
Pattinson?
doing, man. I think they'll just keep separate universes. They'll just say it. They'll say if they
I
bring
think,
Ben back, they'll
yeah,
say separate universe.
yeah, I think that's going to be the case too. I just wouldn't be shocked if those conversations would be had if this movie does become fantastic. But I think you're right. I think I'm spacing on the guy's name who started running the DC portion of Warner Bros. A year or two ago. But he's been the guy responsible for Joker and Shazam,
Excellent.
working under Aquaman and Wonder Woman this sequel.
Wonder Woman, great.
He's been
Aquaman,
doing
not
a
so
really
much.
good job.
Yeah, it looks like DC's kind of corrected their core because forever they were just too reactionary.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah, this new guy. Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
I will say this though, you know, we're being a little bit fanboy here, getting sweaty, but you know,
yeah.
Ben's not coming back. Even if the movie's excellent and they're like, let's do it. You know, they offered Ben Affleck the role in Matt Reeves' Batman, and he said no. He's been open to that in interviews. He's talked about how that kind of the whole process of those two movies really took a toll on him. So, you know, if the movie's excellent, it would just be cool to know that, you know, fans would get back on Ben's side because I don't think there's a lot that are. I really do think he's great. I think people don't like the guns and things like that. I think he's a great grizzled older Batman. So if this movie is excellent, then it'll just get people going, wow, Ben Affleck actually really was good. And that might just be great for him. Henry Cavill, I really want to see in Shazam, so that would be the direction they should go because they've already said Shazam and that universe is together where Joker and this new Batman isn't.
This new Batman isn't?
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. Well,
I always thought it
it.
didn't. I just assumed.
Okay.
I guess I
haven't heard
assumed
anything,
that.
so
Unless I don't know. Now I'm curious. I guess because I know they offered the role to Ben Affleck because I know Ben has talked about it. There was interviews where he said, you know, I read the script. It's excellent. I gave it to a buddy of mine. He read it and said, this movie's excellent, but I think if you do it, you're going to end up killing yourself because he was in such a dark place at that time where he's doing a lot better now. Go check out The Way Back. It's on VOD. A great film with him.
yes, it is.
And I just think if he, you know, maybe they tweaked the script after he said no. I'm not sure. Maybe it's supposed to be, maybe Robert Pattinson's playing a young Ben Affleck. You know, he's supposed to be a 50-year-old Batman. Maybe he's playing a young Ben, and we have no idea. I don't know. Yeah, that's a curious question. That's the real question. Let's get that out there, huh?
Yeah, I just haven't. Matt Reeves never really specified on whether it was the younger Batman before Ben Affleck direction, or if this is just a new take and they're starting off with Batman in his early years. Personally, at this point, like even if this new Justice League movie is fantastic, I'd rather they just kind of start from scratch with Batman. I'd just like us to move forward instead of keep on sticking back to the past and trying to figure out what this is. Just move forward. You can call it still connected. You can still call it separated. I'm not quite sure, but I don't know. Just let's move forward. Let's move on. Like it's been done great, but these things had to move on for a reason. So
yeah,
that's kind of my take on the Batman situation.
And let's not forget the rumors you brought up at the beginning of the video that a lot of people think Batman dies in Zack Snyder's edit in his cut.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that might be the solution there. That Ben Affleck was only supposed to do the 2, and then he gets croaked, and then they changed their mind, thinking they would do one with Matt Reeves. Then Ben said no. So maybe that's what's happening, and Batman ends up dead. Maybe they keep Ben Affleck, and if you know the movie's excellent, they try to do more Justice League movies. I'm curious, thinking about back to the movie, I want to see more of this the Flash stuff. A Flash, if that's something that Zach had in his version with Flash saying, she's the key to, or he's the key to everything and all this stuff. I'd like to see more of that play out. Maybe do a little bit more with Flash and kind of the timelines, and who knows, maybe the movie will end and they're going to say no, all these movies are connected, and Flash rips open a timeline. And he says from this version of Justice League on HBO Max, Flash rips open the timeline, and now the CW's one of those timelines, Joker's one of them, Matt Reeves' Batman's one of them. Like, maybe they'll just do that and they'll just go multiverse like crazy. And who knows? I'm excited. I really want to see it. I wish it was coming out this year.
Yeah, I do wish it was coming out this year at the same time as the launch, but it makes sense. Like, I think I would rather have Zach get the chance to make this the way he really wanted to as much as possible, instead of just throwing whatever he has available up and calling it a day. The Flashpoint is very interesting too, because they're still trying to make that movie happen. They still got Ezra Miller. They just got the director of It to be the director of Flash. We'll see if that goes over well. That's like the 5th director for this movie. But Ezra Miller has been strange about it. He wants a darker take. Other directors have wanted like a lighter take. So maybe Ezra really liked the vision that Zack Snyder had and wanted to continue down that path. And maybe if it works, then that's what Ezra will get, if they still keep it as Flash after that. And I don't know, maybe it will be interesting to see if the director, whoever it is, if it is the director that they have now, if he agrees to that or not. So
which director is it again?
Andy Muschietti.
Andy Muschietti's doing it from It?
Yeah.
I love that. That's excellent. I'm sure I've talked to you about that before. Movies they've vanished. The movies are the Avatar. There's COVID, we want haircuts, and then suddenly movies vanished. And 100 years will pass, and then Kyle and I will discover film reels frozen in a block of ice.
What is this Snyder Cut?
yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. Check it out. Great show.
Great show.
And let's not forget Suicide Squad 2 with James Wacky Gunn is coming, and that's still in that universe. So, we're not sure their plans. I wish I was in those meetings, because I'd love to be, be a fly on the wall there and know what they're doing. But right now, I think DC's in a good position. They've had more hits than misses. Shazam was great. Wonder Woman 84 looks great. Well, obviously the first Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, and Aquaman, not so much, but lately they've been putting out some good quality stuff. And I like this.
Aquaman was still successful.
Very successful. But was the movie great? But now that we're getting probably a new Mara, probably no Amber Heard anymore, is the new rumblings in the DC world. But
I get it to an extent, but I liked her in the role. I didn't think she was bad, but some stuff happening with her.
You can, every case is different. Kyle and I have, behind closed doors, have had a lot of conversations about separating art from artists. And, she's talented. She's absolutely talented. And I liked her a lot as Mara. Her and the Johnny Depp stuff's nuts. It's bat crap, it's crazy. But if they replace her, the rumor is it's supposed to be Emilia Clarke they're replacing her with, and she would be a great choice. But if it sticks Amber Heard, it does. The question is, do we get there was an Amber Heard cameo in Justice League, wasn't there? I'm pretty sure there was.
Oh, yeah. I think since it took place before the Aquaman movie, like, she had like a significant role. I think Willem Dafoe also did as well. But again, all that stuff kind of got cut and moved around to make the movie smaller, make it different.
I know we saw Mara in the cut of Justice League. I'm pretty positive we saw her in this Joss Whedon one.
She was there. Yeah. It was weird, but she was there.
Now, so if we get no news on if they replace her from now until we see it, if she's nowhere in the Snyder Cut, then you know she's probably gone. But
Yeah, I do wonder because of that if they'll edit her out. I almost think not. I don't think they will edit her out in this
probably.
moment anyway. But
Probably just
we'll
depends on
see.
the
We'll see.
footage and the story. I mean, the reports are that Zack Snyder's movie is completely different than the Justice League we saw. It's completely
Yeah.
different. And I'm gonna throw one more thing I'd love out of it. I'd love a
Yeah.
flashback. The internet's about to get fired up here. I'd love a flashback. Bring in Jared Leto's Joker because he was supposed to do it. Let's see Jason Todd and that flashback. Let's see somebody as cast because there were rumors that they filmed scenes like that. And that was one of my favorite. I remember Kyle and I losing our minds when that first trailer came out and it said, what does it say? Like, ha ha, I have the last laugh or something like that
Yeah, something
on his
like that.
suit.
Costume.
That would be awesome. You know, just let him do his thing. The risk is so low here. Let him do his thing. I would love to see some flashbacks with that. You know, I think that would be great. And if it's 4 hours, the movie could be excellent. The only criticism we have is it's too dang long. You know, but
yeah.
well, at least I could pause it. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, that would be kind of cool. I mean, I understand people didn't like Leto's Joker. I thought it was a bold choice in what he was doing, but I thought that it was fine. It's just the usage of him that was very lackluster.
Yeah.
If Ben Affleck was able to have made that Batman movie and they said Leto came back as that Joker, I don't think it would have been mad because I think Ben Affleck, well, he would have tried to direct Leto a bit differently. Who knows if that would have worked out knowing him, Leto, but knowing how Leto is like behind the scenes and whatever as a method actor. But I would have wanted to have seen that. That would have been very interesting.
And who knows? Maybe there's some stuff. Well, yeah, his Batman movie would have been interesting, but you know, in Jared Leto, he's a talk about wackos with Amber Heard. He's a wacko. I mean, he bought an island and he just invites hundreds of women to it. He walks around like he's Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, he's weird. He's great talent though. I mean, his music I really like. He's put in some incredible performances from Fight Club all the way up to Dallas Buyers Club. He loves club movies. I just realized. Yeah, yeah. But he, you know, it's not his fault. I don't think Joker's his fault. It's David Ayer. David Ayer wrote the character. David Ayer came up with the ideas of the tattoos and things like that, and wanting to bring that to it. I liked the Harley Quinn movie quite a bit. Obviously Margot Robbie's great, so you know, if they bring Leto back, if he's in this Snyder Cut, I would be all right with it. It'd be cool to see what another director would have done with that, because I don't think he's a bad Joker. It's a bold pick, yes. Damage is maybe a little too much, but you know, this is a different version of the Joker. And you know, a lot of people don't like Joaquin's Joker because he's not the clown prince of, you know, crime. He's not really doing that. He's, you know, it's very realistic. So we've had all these crazy takes. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of Leto's Joker. Just even if it was a flashback scene, though, to him beating the crap out of Jason Todd and killing him, that would be intense. It'd be dark. It'd be cool to see on film. We've never seen it live action. We've only seen it on their animated movies, and it'd be cool to see. It's one of the best parts of, you know, Batman's lore in his comics. It'd be cool to see if they have that shot. And Jeremy Irons back as Alfred would be great too. He's great Alfred. Love Jeremy Irons.
I'm really sorry, Al. You kind of cut in and out quite a bit at that stretch, but I think I got the gist of what you were saying. But if I missed anything on that, I apologize.
No, it's all good. Do you have anything else? We should probably wrap up here soon. This video went longer than I think both of us thought it would.
Yeah, for sure. We just wanted to give our thoughts on seeing how this all played out in the experience. Fans who have been rallying behind this for years, well done.
You won.
Great work. Yeah, I'm happy for Zack Snyder as well, with what he had to deal with, not only with the tragic passing of his daughter, but as well as behind the scenes drama with the old head of Warner Bros. And being able to work with a new creative team at Warner Bros. I think that'll be great for him. Mend some bridges and all that. We'll see if Justice League, the Snyder Cut changes the future of DC movies or not, but we'll see how that goes. But until then, at least we are getting some good DC movies. That makes me very happy regardless. So, but yeah, I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Yeah, same here. I'm excited. The fans won. Hopefully studios don't start doing this too much where, fan backlash is so bad
Yeah.
or so big and loud that they cater to them. We're seeing that in Lucasfilm with Disney and Star Wars a little bit, and we've seen it now with other big properties. It's in this situation, I like it because I'd like to see Zach's vision of a not so great movie. But I hope it doesn't set a bad precedent where all fans can just bully and petition their way to get what they want, because I don't think that's how art and film should be done. But just kind of we'll see how the future holds. We may never have movies again. So who knows?
Yeah. We'll hopefully we'll still have movies. Yeah. The fans having input or whatever, I don't like it if I had to choose, but I think it also is based on a majority type situation. And also, it's mostly just for genre stuff like this anyway. I mean, it's not like, we're seeing, like you mentioned earlier, Dallas Buyers Club, and people are coming out being like, you should have done this differently. And they're like, oh, my bad, you're right, we'll change the movie. And,
you and I should have started
just for this.
Sorry, you and I should have started we should have started a petition to change Call Me By Your Name.
Oh, if we don't want even more hate.
Yeah, sorry, if you hate that joke, go watch our review and then hate on us more, pal. Art is subjective. You're allowed to hate what you want.
They not.
I don't hate the movie, but
that's
not my favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll end it there. Thank you for watching, guys. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Go check out our reaction to the Tenet trailer. More stuff will be coming. Hopefully movies return one day. So, yeah. All right. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.